The episode centers on Aggie, who's still living with the trauma of losing her son Cooper in a car accident years ago. In the present day, she texts her ex-wife Shelley about the upcoming anniversary of the tragedy, but mostly keeps to herself at home with her dog Steve. She is supposed to be working on the follow-up to her successful memoir, Sick Puppy, but she is blocked, broke, and her house keeps falling apart, with brown water bursting out of her sink. Out of nowhere, two aggressive dogs start clawing at her doors. Moments later, Rick, the uncle of Aggie's new neighbor, Niall Jarvis, shows up to apologize for the dogs. Niall is a wealthy businessman, tabloid favorite, and suspected wife killer. He plans to build a jogging path through the community woods, something everyone but Aggie has already agreed to. She later finds the letter he sent asking for her permission and tosses it straight in the trash before Googling him and discovering his first wife went missing and he is still the prime suspect. Aggie leaves Shelley a voicemail saying she will visit Cooper's grave the next day, but that night, Niall's security alarm goes off, jolting her awake. The next morning, she opens her door to find an expensive box of wine, another apology from Niall. She heads to his mansion to return it, only to meet his new wife Nina, who's bubbly, kind, and a huge fan of Aggie's writing. Nina brings her inside, and soon Niall invites Aggie to his office to chat. Niall compliments her writing, but then the conversation goes sour fast. Aggie complains about the dogs and the loud alarm. Niall pushes her again to sign off on the jogging path. When she refuses, he implies she is after money, then casually brings up the fact she hasn't published anything since Cooper died. Aggie snaps, tells him not to mention her son, and storms out. She goes to Cooper's grave and runs into Teddy, the young man who accidentally killed Cooper, and his mother. Teddy and his mother have a restraining order against Aggie due to her past confrontations, but he still visits Cooper's grave to pay respects. Aggie lashes out, pushes him, and screams at him despite his attempts to avoid conflict. She screams that he should be the one dead and causes a full scene until her ex-wife Shelley arrives and de-escalates everything. After Aggie calms down, she admits she is sorry and chats with Shelley about her life. Shelley gently reminds her she needs help dealing with her rage. She mentions she and her new partner Meg are taking a break, and she's been painting again, which feels healing. Back home, her editor calls to check on the overdue book. Aggie begs for another advance, but she won't get one without pages. The next morning, a plumber comes to fix the sink, right as Niall knocks again. He asks for his book to be signed and invites her to lunch. She's hesitant, but he pushes and she agrees. At lunch, Niall opens up about growing up in town, getting sick of Manhattan rumors, and dealing with endless speculation about his missing ex-wife. He teases Aggie about her new book idea, says it sounds boring, then jokes she should write about him instead. When he accidentally insults her dog Steve, Aggie explains the name came from Cooper, and the moment softens both of them. But then Niall suddenly smashes a stranger's phone for taking a photo of him, sits back down like nothing happened, and Aggie weirdly seems impressed by the confidence. As they leave, they spot Teddy across the way. Aggie drives off, and Niall just stares at Teddy. That night, an FBI agent named Brian Abbott, who previously worked on Niall's case, shows up at Aggie's door in the middle of a storm. He quietly warns her that getting close to Niall is dangerous and urges her to keep her distance because Niall isn't like them. The next morning, Shelley calls with huge news. Teddy killed himself the night before. They found his car by the beach, apparent suicide. Shelley says Teddy had his own demons and Aggie can't blame herself, but the timing and Niall's intense stare make it feel anything but random. Aggie hangs up, replaying her lunch with Niall, specifically when he said it must be awful seeing Teddy all the time, and when she admitted she wanted Teddy to suffer like she did. Suddenly something clicks. Aggie whispers, "What did you do?" And that's where the episode ends.